Salutations, spooks, spirits, and specters, and welcome back to more Corpse Party Book of Shadows as we continue Episode 5. Last time we had the unfortunate business of dying twice. It is so horrible because it's just kind of like both choices were bad endings. And it's just so funny because like you choose one path and it's like, oh, you were running away from a normal human being. So I'm like, okay, well maybe next time if I wait, maybe then. Nope, waiting is also a death sentence. Always toying with the expectations. It's just like on the previous episode where I thought hiding under the table was a good idea instead of the locker. Alright, let's check the girls' room first, because we got this thingy. And I want to see if this seems like the safer option. Heavier, covered in protective charms, not even locked, it just won't open. See, this is why I thought. Try it.
やはり扉のお札と木札の文様はよく似てるな。でもどうしたらいいのか。
投げつけてみたら？
そんなバチ当たりな。とりあえず置いてみるか。
Fukuroi did exactly that, and after only a few moments, there was a notable change in the air. Then, all of a sudden, the grave tag emitted a bright blue light, and the door was engulfed in flames.
大変だ！火事になっちゃう！
落ち着け！よく見てみろ！
I'd already turned to run, but at Fukuroi's urging, I turned back. And I have to admit, what I saw defied my expectations, and explanations as well. The flames weren't actually engulfing the door, but rather just the protective paper charms affixed to it. The door, the wall, and the floor were untouched. After several seconds of burning, the paper charms were completely vaporized and the flames dutifully vanished, as if they were never even there. The protective charms are gone. The girls' restroom door now stands wide open. Well, now. There's a body hanging from one of the ceiling beams, swaying back and forth ever so slightly. It's completely decomposed, but judging by the uniform, it was probably a female junior or senior high school student in life. Behind this swinging corpse, there's a conspicuous hole visible in the back wall. And all around it, on all sides, there's graffiti, exactly the kind you'd expect to find in a public laboratory, from dirty drawings to "for a good times." Call me. I'll be waiting for you. Dead cat in Class 3's locker. I'm watching you from above. Blank from 3A loves blank. Japanese studies teacher, Mr. Blank, just die already, you pervert. There's a name tag on the girl's uniform. Ryuben's Academy Senior High School, Moeka Natsuno. The water in the basin is brown and thick. The drain must be completely stopped up. It's locked from the inside. It won't open. There's a tiny hole in the door.
穴？ここ から中の様子が確かめられそう。
Take a peek.
この穴から中が見えるかも。
おい美月。
I immediately regret this decision because I have a feeling about eyeball horror that's about to happen. I put my eye up to the hole and saw the telltale glint of another eye staring back at me from within.
どうした？
誰かが中にこっち見てた。
そんなバカな。下からは足が見えないぞ。俺が確認してみる。
Fukuroi ducked down and peeked in through the hole exactly as I had.
フクロイ、どうしたの？ちょっと平気？
What got lodged into his eyeball?
フクロイ！嘘でしょ
Fukuroi fell onto his side, and as soon as I could see his face, I noticed that his right glasses lens was cracked, and his right eye was bloody. On closer inspection, I noticed a round hole in the lens, as if a small stick or a fat needle had been instantaneously driven through it deep into his eye.
フクロイ！フクロイってば！起きて！起きてよ！
There was no hint of a response. He just kept subtly convulsing, as if he'd been electrocuted. How had this happened? What was going on? I'd better look through this
女子
hole.
トイレに男子が入っちゃいけないんだよ。
何よあんた。
The stall door opened, revealing a little girl with an eerie blue glow about her. She looked to be around grade school age, a 5th or 6th grader maybe. One of her eyes had been completely pulverized, but her face showed no indication of pain. Rather, it had a certain stoic quality to it. It was unreadable. Most disturbing of all, however, was the object she held in her right hand. It was an awl, or an ice pick, or some such thing, with a bloody, dripping blade.
お姉ちゃんが男子を女子トイレに入れたの？
待って、私！
Before I even had a chance to answer, the girl leapt from the stall with blinding speed.
いけないんだよ。
Reacting as quickly as I could, I threw my arm in front of my face and almost immediately felt the ice pick blade pierce right into it. Not just once, but twice, 3 times. It dug deep into my arm, my palm, my shoulder. I had to run. But she wasn't about to let me. She just quietly kept hacking away, working her way up and down the entire length of my arm. Bit by bit, my skin and flesh was chipped away, until finally the ice pick completely penetrated my palm and began boring into my cheek. Eventually, my ear was hacked apart, and then I was scalped, so thoroughly that I could hear the sound of my skin peeling away with my remaining ear. There was nothing in the world but pain at this point. I couldn't focus on anything else if I'd wanted it to. My vision was blank, and I honestly couldn't tell if it's because I had my eyes closed or if I simply didn't have eyes anymore. I only knew for sure that I was still being hacked apart because I could hear it. The pain gave no indication, as it was already omnipresent. I begged for mercy several times in vain before I finally just started praying that this agony would come to an end. God, please, I'll endure whatever trials lie ahead with open arms if you'll just save me now. I beg of you, please, make it stop. Well, I'm making progress. Gee, I had to go and be like, gee, this chapter has the most possible ways to die. Oh boy, I wonder how many I'm going to try to avoid this time.
穴？ここから中
Do
の様子が
not
確かめられそう。
look.
この穴、何か意味がありそうだけど、どうする？
Maybe. Working on a hunch, I took the wind-up key from my pocket and tried sticking it in the hole. Surprisingly, it was a perfect fit. I then tried turning it, and with just a little bit of force, it spun 180 degrees to the right and produced a loud click.
ねじ巻きじゃなかったのかな？何かのスイッチみたいな。
スイッチ？特に変化はないみたいだが。
待って！穴から！
As if on cue, a single hairline stream of blood began oozing out from behind the wind-up key. It slowly wended its way down the door and formed a gloppy pool at its base. The whole room then filled with pungent odor all at once.
この匂いってなんだか。
ん？
なんでもない。
地震か！収まったみたいだな。
ビビったー。こんなボロい建物、いつ崩れてもおかしくないよ。
ああ、早く外に出ないと危険だな。
Well, well, well. Let's check the reference room first. That's my first guess.
なんかさっきと床の穴とか違くない？
今の地震のせいか。だが穴が増えるならともかく今まであった穴が塞がったりするなんて。
やっぱ何かまっとうじゃないことが起きてるんだよ、ここって。
There's no longer any trace of a gap in the floor here. Is the reference room a room now? Okay, it's still the same. Maybe something's different in the art room, and that's why there's no longer a hole there. Let's take a peek. Anything different? Anything different? Anything different? I don't see anything different. Alright. Can we access the third floor now? Maybe that's a thing. No, we cannot. Actually, now I'm curious. I'm going to step on this hallway step here and see if there's anything to look at. I didn't think about that because it was blanked off before. Any bodies? No. Alright, first floor. The boys' bathroom. Can we access the boys' bathroom now? That's another thing that could have changed. The exit door is rattling with the rain and wind, and seems like a perfectly normal, perfectly openable door now.
見て、フクロイ、外に出られそう。
マユ、いるか。ここにもいないか。マユ、一体どこに。また人が死んでいる。本当にどうなっているんだ、この学校は。こんな場所でマユを一人にしておけない。ユイ先生か持田あたりと一緒にいてくれればいいが。
Oh, hello there. It's a corpse that's only just started to decay. Seems to be a junior high school girl. And from the looks of it, she was cut completely in half using some sort of edged instrument.
これはひどい。人間の体を脊椎ごと真っ二つにするなんて。日本刀みたいな刃物か。そうでなきゃ何か機械の力でも借りないことには。飛沫血痕がこっち側に散ってるから刃物は体の前から入ったのか。何かあるの。
I noticed a notebook partially jutting out from her pocket. It was one of those cat-themed spiral notebooks that's all the rage with the teenagers these days.
この建物から出る手がかりでもあるかもしれない。すまないが読ませてもらおう。
I have no idea why we've been trapped here. But at least we're all here together. Mr. Gato's presence makes us all feel a little more at ease. Without an adult around, I don't think we could handle any of this. Mr. Gato seems even more anxious than we are. He says he'll make sure we all get home safely. But his temperament just keeps getting worse. He's usually so cool, but lately he's just gotten kind of scary. Hiroko, Arisa, and the others are getting really fed up with him. Mr. Goto is so unfair. He keeps playing favorites with Hiroko. That was the last of our food, too. And I'm the one who stopped Hiroko and Norika from fighting. Mr. Goto is dead.
手がかりにはならないな。他に何かないのか。なあ君、何か知らないか。死体に話しかけるなんて、俺もどうかしてる。しかしおかしなもんだな。こうして人間の死体を前にしても嫌悪感がなくなってきた。恐怖心が麻痺したのか。この子だって最近まで俺と同じように息をして考え生活していただろうに、今はこんなに臭い肉の塊か。綺麗な顔してるけど、この顔もしばらくしたら腐って見られたもんじゃなくなってしまうんだろうな。いや、別に何か手がかりでもないかと思って。
そうか、ごめん、声が聞こえたものだから。
Hello, Mr. Cameraman.
僕は田口翔吾。見ての通りカメラマンだ。って言っても個展を開くような芸術家タイプじゃないけどね。取材でここに来たんだけど、一緒に来た先生とはぐれてしまって弱ってたんだ。君は？
僕はここに迷い込んでしまったらしくて、今は友達を探しています。
友達ってひょっとしてそこに倒れている？
いえ、これは知らない人です。
そうか、よかったのかな。君の名前を聞いてもいいかい？よければ探してるっていう友達の名前も。
森重作太郎です。探してるのは女の子で鈴本真由。小柄でよく笑う明るい子なんですが。
鈴本ね。
The cameraman named Taguchi suddenly flipped out the LCD screen on his camcorder and began rewinding through the footage.
何を？
いや、言いにくいんだけど、僕がここに来てから撮った映像に映り込んでないかと思って。
Seems smart to me.
後々警察に提出することを考えて、被害者の遺体と身元が分かりそうな、例えば名札なんかを取っておいたんだ。
バカな！バカなことを言わないでください。マユは無事ですよ。
あ、いや、ごめん、安心してくれ。 鈴本さんらしい遺体は映像にはなかったよ。しかし君は勇気があるね。だっていくら友達を探すためとはいえ、さっきそこの遺体を念入りに調べてたじゃないか。
あなたもカメラで死体を撮っているじゃないですか。
それがね、カメラマンってのは奇妙なもんで、ファインダー越しなら客観的な立場に徹していられるんだけど、生で見ちゃうと腰が引けちゃうもんなのさ。死体や銃撃に慣れた戦場カメラマンが愛用のカメラが壊れた途端恐怖で泣き叫び出したなんて話は僕らの間では有名でね。
なるほど、そういうものですか。
興味がない話だったかな。僕はどうも口数が多くて、奈穂ちゃんにいつも。それはそうと、どうだい、この際だから一緒に行動しないか。
いえ、せっかくですが僕はもうしばらく一人で探してみます。田口さんの足手まといになるのも悪いですから。こんなやかましい人と同行するのはごめんだな。目上の人間と接するのも疲れるし。
Oh, yes.
そうか。じゃあ後でまた合流するのはどう？ここは磁場か何かのせいで時計が狂ってしまうけど、大体の目安で1時間後にそこの玄関で待ち合わせよう。こんな場所で生きてる人間に会えたんだ。君だって情報交換くらいしたいだろ。
そういうことならわかりました。
オッケー、決まりだ。じゃあ気をつけてね。
Cool. I wanted to look at this hole first.
穴の底に何かあるか。降りるのは危険だな。何か道具を探さないと。
Right on. So we're here. Interesting how we shifted characters. The corpses? Nothing. Locker room. It's a more recently deceased corpse. The clothing and general body mass suggest she was a junior high school girl in life. Based on the height of the shower head and the positioning of the body, this appears to have been suicide. The name tag is a bit dirty, but still legible. Seisho Junior High School, Honoka Nanjo. There's a note near the body, neatly folded 3 times. The 4 of us killed Mr. Goto. I talked it over with Hiroko, Arisa, and Norika, and we decided that there was no other choice. He may be a nice man, but it was only a matter of time before that changed in here. It's hard to trust anyone in a place like this. And now that the deed is done, Hiroko and the others have started second-guessing themselves. Now they're dead too, and I'm all alone. There's nothing to eat, and I'm starving, so I tried eating rats and cockroaches, but that just gave me severe diarrhea. My lips have dried out, and I've lost a lot of weight. So I've decided to kill myself before the ghost kids or that hammer-wielding man get me. After all this, I've finally realized the time I spent with Mr. Gato, Hiroko, and the others was the best of my life. Goodbye, Dad, Mom, and all my friends from class. Please don't ever forget me. Well, with that, I shall end it here. So thank you all very much for watching, and ciao for now. Ciao for now.